Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There was a huge amount of info this week on gameplay mechanics coming this year with Star Citizen, as well as what those gameplay mechanics will eventually evolve into as well as some bits and pieces on NPC crews, general gameplay mechanics, and more. The mining, salvage, and repair gameplay mechanics were a focus. They are still being fleshed out, and they're planned to see a lot more additions and changes past their first implementations that we're getting this year. But none of them will be a simple click and then you're done type of gameplay. There's going to be risk and reward and a bit of interactivity, at least when it comes to speed and efficiency of their mini-game gameplay. Mining will have you balance speed with power and safety by putting more power or less power into your drill or laser, with the potential to damage your drill or ship if you do it poorly, or if you do it too safely, then you might be making UEC very slowly or not getting the ore that you want. Mining will encompass liquids, gases, and more too in the future that are not just on planets, moons, and asteroids, and aren't just ore. There's going to be lots of types of extraction planned, basically, and there are going to be different tools or components to help with these various types of extraction. You may need a specific mining tool to mine liquids, for example. Tier 0 mining will be with the Prospector with its laser tractor beam. You'll be able to put more or less power into that laser, and then you'll want to try and keep it into like an optimal zone to get the best materials or the best efficiency. And you're going to need to manage that power as energy spikes will occur, and they could cause issues, shall we say. In the future, there will be pockets or explosive areas, or areas that might be easier to mine if you do it well or wrongly, or just mine in the right areas. Moon mining will be in the first iteration, so literally landing on a moon and drilling down. Space-based mining will come after that, though we could potentially see that in 3.2 as well. But both types of mining, whether it be in space or on ground, will have a bit of different gameplay to them. They aren't planning for moons or planets to be deformed by mining, though, so no voxels for those. Prospector, Player, and Orion mining are the ones they're focusing mechanics on at the moment, so maybe mining for other ships in the future, but they're not looking at those modules for other ships. They're looking at the Prospector hand mining by the player and the Orion strip mining. Nodes for mining can be completely depleted or destroyed. Mineable objects will, however, get replenished over time, but they haven't fully looked at that area yet, so they're still looking exactly how that's going to work. Multiple players can mine the same area or rock or node at the same time. The salvage mechanic has different phases. Now, with the Tier 0 implementation that we're getting later this year with 3.2, we'll get hull stripping and the grinding down and mulching of those resources of the ship. Just very basic, munch up the ship. There's also going to be item extraction coming later. That will be collecting valuable items that are potentially fully usable off different salvaged areas of the ship. There's also going to be data extraction to remove valuable info potentially, and siphoning, which will allow you to reclaim gas and fuel from a ship. Industry ships that are currently in game or that are being developed are typically focused at a specific intended role and are unlikely to run effectively out of their roles. So, for example, trying to have a reclaimer as a dedicated repair ship, for example, might not be the best choice, the same as having like a Prospector as a cargo ship, for example. AI. So there was a lot talked about AI as well. Ships like the Idris have a strategic planning map that other ships will be able to have as well. This is going to help you command NPCs or players, at least kind of give them a mark to their target or waypoint, and you're going to be able to do this to command or order particular players, NPCs, drones, or whatever you want to do a particular task. Now, NPCs are going to have personalities, so some might not want to do suicide missions, or some might panic during a mission and run away. There should be a log for all of these orders as well that will be viewable, so if NPCs cancel an order for any reason, it will tell you why, which is going to be good, because if they do it or they fail or whatever, you can actually read it at some point. You'll also want to do a bit of research on NPCs before you hire them. Look at their stats available, though some of them might be hidden, or at least maybe not necessarily be stats that you actually view from them, but it will be some form of bio or whatever that will give you a hint at what they can do. They can be trained and will have varying levels of potential ability at different skills. They have personality traits like some of them might never run away, or some of them might conversely be a coward or hate the UEE. When it comes to hiring NPCs, they want players to be playing the game and not have a fully automated offline experience. They want you to log in, they want you to play, they want you to jump in with NPCs, but not have them run everything for you while you're offline. So NPCs may already have their own ships. When it comes to a single player having a huge fleet controlled by NPCs, they don't want this to unbalance the game, but they're going to be looking at all options. The current thinking of food, drink, and facilities is that players may have small buffs and debuffs from eating or not drinking or not eating or whatever, but NPCs, for example, might not talk to you or raise shop prices if you haven't washed in ages. NPCs will have happiness that you will have to consider when you're hiring them and when you're keeping them on board your ship. They want to have access to food, to specific crew areas, to toilets, bedrooms, and have a certain quality of life. They are going to play around with this and iterate a lot upon it. They don't have any plans at the moment for a fully automated autopilot, or no hard plans at least. If they do add it in the future, then they would still want players to be faster at charting and changing course and adding courses quickly. You're going to be able to set waypoints though, and you're going to be able to jump to them, or you're going to be able to get an NPC or an AI to get you to a location while you get up out of your chair and do stuff on your ship. Though you might have to scramble if you get attacked by pirates or something else happens on the journey. On the HUD side of things and Moby-Glass, players and NPCs may appear the same. So if you're trying to work out if someone's a player or NPC, you might not be able to easily do that at range. However, once you see them moving around or you see them talking or whatever, you'll know it's a player. Scanning them or seeing their name will also likely give away if they're a player or NPC, but at range it might be quite hard to tell. Short range scanning and different types of scanning will be coming in before long range exploration scanning mechanics. However, eventually you'll be able to scan down anomalies and points of interest to travel to. Even in the Stanton system, there's going to be lots of chances at exploration mechanics, minerals, pirates, dealers, points of interest, anomalies. As we said earlier as well, mining resources are going to replenish over time in certain areas. There's going to be salvage areas that might come online because of huge battles. And there's going to be loads of stuff that just gets generated into the game that you'll be able to explore from system to system as well, just over time it seems. There will be equipment that allows you to deal with G-forces better when in your ship, but also there's going to be equipment that's more focused towards environmental hazards and extreme conditions. Blind quantum jumps won't be making a return unless there's a reason for them to be added. They will look at it, but there will be dangers if they bring it back in-game. So they might go, well, if you try and jump there, you might end up in an asteroid or whatever. They are planning for the overclocking of items to give you a potential 5 to 10% benefit in the future, and they will look at implementation of overclocking and those kind of science mechanics once they've fully finished repair and scanning potentially. There will be the gathering of biomatter, plants and animals as well at some point. They haven't decided on a level of gore yet, and they want the component replacement and manual repair in as soon as possible with ships. Ships are currently being built with interactable points in mind, with the integration of Item System 2.0 more fully. They are looking at all the ships to be able to have removable components. That is part of the core of Star Citizen, having all of those changeable, interchangeable components which can all be modded up but also can break down and you'll have to replace, you have to remove and move around. It's also sort of part of the salvaging mechanic as well, and that gameplay is coming, but they currently have other priorities and they will revisit that in the future. Every month we have a giveaway for a ship. For February it's an 890 jump donated by our featured org, Synchronizers. They're an org that plan to encompass all types of gameplay that Star Citizen has to offer, though they do oppose piracy. They also seek members for their mature family of both casual and more hardcore players alike, but there's no real other restrictions on membership other than that. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They are active in Star Citizen now and have a Discord for you to chat in straight away. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that 890 is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and then comment on any of my Star Citizen videos during the month. We will be checking out the roadmap changes and additions in my next video, so look forward to that. There's also going to be a bit about ships and the Carrack, because the Carrack is currently on hold, but there's reasons for that and it's kind of part of the development process, and we will talk about that in the next video. Do you have any questions about Star Citizen or Squadron 42's development, or any of the gameplay mechanics that we talked about right there a minute ago, or anything about the roadmap? Chuck them in the comments below and I will try and answer them. A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If if you're interested in becoming one of those lovely chaps, then please find the link to Patreon, as well as everything else we've discussed down below as well. I have an interview with Aaron Roberts on the 9th of March, so if you've got any questions for that as well, chuck them in the comments, because that will be useful, as evolving my question list has proved relatively hard with the constant changes with Star Citizen. But we will get a good list together. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.